Hey guys, so I'm so excited to do this live today for you guys. I will be going live today with Sandra. Me and her met during, at least for me, I found her during my spiritual journey, and I'll talk more about that later on with her. Um, I want to really talk about how self-love, I feel like my spiritual awakening really taught me how self-love really helped me attract anything I want in my life. I didn't realize, like, I feel like society doesn't emphasize like how big of like self-love really does help us influence. Self-love really does help us to attract what we want into our lives. And once Sandra introduces herself, I'll get more into that. So hey, thank you for joining me
Hey,
today.
doing. Thank you for asking me to join. I'm excited. I'm excited to let people know that when they start loving themselves, spirituality opens up to them. It's it's not religious based. It's not your government telling you what you can do, your mother telling you what you can do, your father telling you what you can do. It comes from within. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and I'm so happy you said that because I feel like when I had my spiritual awakening, I started like questioning myself and I kept like looking like for outside validation because before my spiritual awakening, I was not religious, I was not spiritual, and during my awakening, I felt like this internal shift of like it felt like I was dying or like trying like I felt like I was like, you know, when you die, then you're gonna get judged. So I'm like, damn, like I was not religious, I was not spiritual. Like me, I'm trying to like understand like why is this happening to me? Like on the outside, and all I really had to do was just look on the inside. Like my soul was making this happen to me. Like me loving myself was making this happen to me because before my spiritual awakening, I deeply loved myself. Like the career I'm in today, I talk about HIV. I'm sex positive. I'm non-monogamous. I live in my truth all the time on social media. And I feel that since I love myself so much, I was able to attract answers and solutions and like-minded people. And I was able to attract the other half of my soul, which is a guy. And I think at the beginning, I kind of was like trying to like be like he woke me up, but like that's like the wrong way to look at it because he is not like another person. He is me. And the twin flame, their purpose is to remind you to love yourself, to remind you who your authentic self is, which is a spiritual being. Once they started listening and stopped being hard headed, but like listening, I was like, wow, like all that distress I was causing myself went away. And when it comes to the religious part, because I really want Sandra to kind of touch more on the religious part. So me, I'm like seeking answers and I'm thinking, oh, so I'm spiritual now, like I need to do something different. So I guess the universe just connected me with her and she really like helped me realize that yeah, I need to look within, and I'll let you like elaborate on that.
All right. Well, for me, my life, for me, my awakening is continuously going. I mean, I believe I started becoming awakened to the process when I was like between 10 and 12. And I know that seems like a really young age, but once I started asking one question, and that question was, what more? I always wanted to know more. I always said that there's more than, to me, just words in the Bible, that there had to be more. And so I had a best friend. I'm going to make this story short. I had a best friend who asked that same question. And we went to different churches and we did that throughout until we got about 18. And we found our church home. Okay, but what I didn't know was I found my church home based on a belief, a set of beliefs that I had already been given. Whether it was from my mother, whether it was from my father, whether it was from my teachers or my church, these were already paradigms that were already within me. And the reason why I was asking these questions was the paradigm that was written in my story didn't feed me enough. Now, when I was little, I didn't know all of this. Now I'm knowing this at this point in time when I look back into my life and I look back on my past. Remind you, I'm not living my past, I'm just reviewing it. Because you cannot change your past in the past. There's not enough energy to make changes. The changes have to come in your now. And every time I would have that now moment and ask that pertinent question related to me, what now and how much more, things would open up. Now, I was still living what you would call the duality life. And I was still making those choices that would either give me a good feeling or a bad feeling. And the more I had bad feelings, the more I kept asking what more. But my physical ears, my mind, wasn't allowing me to hear the call of my soul. And my soul was saying, okay, take this path. Okay, take that path. And I would, because I have a free will, I would make choices based on, this feels good, let me try this. But I wasn't hearing with my spiritual self. But I didn't know that. So I would live life and make choices that would either sometimes give me a good feeling or sometimes give me a bad feeling. But they were still my feelings. But you have to realize that in the world today, we're told that when we have a bad feeling or we have a bad experience, we blame other people for it. We don't step up and say, well, I made that choice. So I was living a lot of that. But through that living, I got to this point in like maybe 5 years ago, where I just started to hear my call, my soul saying, here I am, here I am, here I am. Every move, every direction, every choice that I would make would put me closer to hearing that call until one day I just felt, I didn't know, I just felt broken. I felt broken, I felt sad, I felt anxious, I felt sometimes envious of other people having what I considered they were having a good life. And I was going, why does everything have to be difficult for me? Why was I the single mother? Why did my ex-husband walk out on me? Why? Until I got back to that initial question that I had when I was 10, what more? So for me, it wasn't a walk in the park. For some people, their awakening is wonderful, beautiful. They don't have to chore at it. It's moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was living my duality, going through my ups, going through my downs, and then one moment getting to that point for me that said, I can't take it anymore. I just really feel broken. And that moment is when I could hear the call of my soul. It was when I could say, what's my soul's purpose? I'm a human. We're taught in our lifetime to believe that we're only body and that we're only soul. We're only body and we're only mind. And if we keep our mind in check, we'll be okay. For me, that was tiring. It took too much energy to keep my mind corralled, to keep my mind positive, because my mind is there to protect me. It's there to keep me in a box and not allow me to step outside of the lines that might make me sad or despondent or in despair. And to keep me working at a job that was paycheck to paycheck, and you're cool with that. And being on a budget all the time. And it's okay to run out of money and then sit there and worry about it. But do you know what I mean? Your mind gives you these boxes that say, Sandra, it's okay. Stay here. You'll be fine. But my soul was trying to push me out of that comfort zone. It was calling me to find out more, to live more. And the first thing I had to do was love myself. I did not love myself. I saw myself like other people perceived me, and then told me, well, remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? Oh, I don't think you should step out the box. I don't think you should do that, because remember when you tried and you failed? And I kept all those their thoughts in me. Their thoughts became my belief about me. Their thoughts became my paradigm about who I was. And because I was thinking that, that's how the universe said, okay, Sandra, you're thinking it a lot, so here's some more. You're thinking about being broke, so here's some more situations where you're going to be broke.
Yeah.
You're thinking about not being loved, so I'm not going to bring anybody. You're going to have all these people who don't love you and don't respect you, and who are telling you that that's okay, that's the way it should be. So I started to fall in love with me, which is the first thing that people tell you not to do, because you're being higher than you should be. You're being selfish and vain. But I found out if I didn't love me, no one else was going to see how to love me. Nobody else was going to feel how to love me. Nobody else was going to love me the way I could love myself.
Yeah, that resonated a lot with me because I felt that before I became public about my HIV status, I feel like my career is created based in alignment with my soul purpose, because I think like even being HIV positive, everybody always tell you like you can't have sex, you can't do other things, you can't be in the type of relationship dynamic you want to be in. Oh, Zora, you cannot go public about your status. You need a higher status. And it's like I decided that I was going to become public about my status because that's what my soul, now I'm realizing that's what my soul wanted me to do. And like, also like, it's like, this is my career. You know, a lot of people, they tell you, oh, you have to do a 9 to 5, you have to go to college. I said, no, I'm going to do
Right.
social media and create my own career that is based off of my own values. And I feel like the more I started living my life and my truth on social media, I started to attract things I wanted in my life, like-minded people, the other half of my soul, um, just everything. Just, and then I feel like that's when I had that big spiritual awakening, because I felt that I wasn't really listening, like I wasn't getting it. So I feel like my soul was like, okay, we need to do something really big to make Zara really get that she awakened. So yeah, I think everybody's spiritual awakening is different. I guess mine was like really traumatic because I don't know. They're not really. I don't think they're really like a reason. Maybe because I wasn't listening or something. But I feel like what made me really realize that I was already in alignment with my soul purpose was when I was like talking to Sandra, and she helped me like understand the whole like religion thing. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. And then also when I started going to readers and when I started doing tarot reading myself and doing readings on me, they were telling me, I would ask questions about my career, and they were saying like everything you're doing is in alignment. And then they told me that I have a gift to heal. So it's like so me, I'm thinking to myself like, isn't there something outside of me? I was so stuck on like I need to change something. But then like everything I was learning was like just love yourself, like look within. Like everything I was doing, like it kept telling me stop trying to change everything you're doing right. The only thing I needed to change was to live in the present and to stop like living through my pain, because at the beginning my career was mostly about me like looking at painful situations, writing about them, but like talking about them from a loving place. And now I'm realizing I can still do that without the pain part. I can just do it from the love part of me. And now I just feel better. Like all that internal stress was just me like trying to fight myself, keep on trying to look for outside validation, outside help. When I just finally just